Good evening, friends. I, Sheeba Rakesh, welcome you to this edition of the English program. This evening is about to be enriched with the memory of and a humble tribute to one of the greatest mystic women who treaded the earth, and more so, our country, India. This was around the 14th century, and she was called Lal Ded. Today, when we live in an absolutely fast-paced world where love, hope, togetherness, and sentiments have all been restricted and reduced to the sphere of the exhibitionist social media culture, we do need sometimes to slow down and remember who we are and what are we here for, especially also because we are products of a legacy exuberantly rich in spirituality and the notion of transcending the cult of the body to dive deep within and find out our real calling, our real source. It is for this reason that poet and writer Anujeet Iqbal takes us into the world of Lal Ded and her philosophy that equaled not just theory but palpitating life. Let us listen to her.
Dear listeners, namaskar. For a moment, let us slow down. Close your eyes and imagine a valley where the mountains stand like silent guardians, and a river flows gently through the heart of the land. This is a valley of Kashmir, a place where history breathes through the breeze and memory travels through its quiet streams. Among the many voices that arose from this land, one voice still echoes with remarkable simplicity. It belongs to a mystic woman, a poet, a wanderer, Lalleshwari, whom we lovingly remember as Lal Ded, Lalla, or Lal Arifa. Even today in Kashmir, people say something very beautiful. In this valley, we know two sacred names, Allah and Lalla. This simple sentence reveals the extraordinary place she holds in the hearts of the people. But today, we remember her not only as a saint, we remember her as a woman who gently challenged the boundaries imposed upon women centuries ago. Long before the modern language of feminism came into existence, Lalleshwari lived its essence, its spirit, its living truth. Her life itself became a powerful statement that a woman's wisdom, insight, spirituality, and freedom are not gifts granted by society. They are her inherent rights. Lalla was born around the year 1320 in Kashmir. Like many other girls of her time, her life soon entered the structures of social expectations. She was married at the age of 12, and with marriage came a new name, Padmavati. At first glance, a change of name may seem small, but it reveals a deeper reality of that time. A woman's identity was often shaped by others, by family, by marriage, by society, by the structures of civilization itself. Her own voice was rarely heard. Tradition recalls a small yet powerful story from Lalla's life. It is said that her mother-in-law would serve her food in a bowl that appeared full of rice, yet beneath the thin layer of rice there were stones. To the family, it looked like a proper meal, but Lalla remained hungry. This story is not merely about domestic cruelty. It reflects the silent suffering of many women that appeared orderly and respectable from the outside, yet carried unseen pain within. But silence does not remain silent forever. Within Lalla, a deep awareness was slowly awakening. She began to realize that the narrow walls of domestic life could never contain the vastness of the human soul. And then, at the age of 24, she made a decision that was remarkable for a woman of 14th century. She left her home. This act alone was revolutionary. In a society where a woman's life was defined by her roles as daughter, wife, or mother, walking away meant reclaiming her own existence. It was an act of immense courage, an early expression of the idea that a woman's identity belongs first to herself. Lalla's journey did not stop there. She decided to live a wandering mystic During this period, she met the Shaivite master Siddh Shrikantha, who guided her into deeper spiritual practice. Through meditation and self-inquiry, she experienced a profound transformation. From this awakening emerged the mystical utterances of which she is remembered, the Vakhs. These verses were not composed in scholarly language. Instead, she spoke in the language of ordinary people, the language heard in homes, fields, and everywhere. This choice itself carried a democratic spirit. By speaking in the people's language, Lalla opened the doors of spiritual wisdom to everyone, including women, who had long been excluded from formal learning. According to tradition, she moved through villages, sky-clad, Digambara, without concern for the social conventions of clothing and modesty. To many people of her time, this seemed shocking, even disturbing. Yet, her act carried a deeper meaning. By discarding the external coverings, Lalla symbolically rejected the rules that sought to control a woman's body and her place in society. In doing so, she made a profound declaration. Dignity does not come from hiding the body. It comes from awakening the soul. In this sense, Lalleshwari challenged what we today call the male gaze, the idea that a woman's body exists to be judged, defined, or controlled by society. For Lalla, the body was simply a vessel of the divine, never an object of shame. In one of her famous Vakhs, she says, "My Guru gave me but one teaching. Turn your gaze inward. Look within yourself." These simple words hold a profound truth. Lalla taught that the divine is not confined to temples or scriptures. It resides within every human being. And when we reflect upon this teaching, we see something remarkable. Lalla was quietly challenging a system in which religious authority belonged almost entirely to men. By speaking as spiritual guide, she claimed a space that women had rarely occupied. In this sense, Lalleshwari became an early voice of spiritual feminism. She demonstrated that wisdom belongs to no gender. The path toward the divine is open to every human soul. She says, "Whatever work I performed became an act of worship to the divine. Whatever words I uttered turned into prayer. Whatever this body experienced became a practice of Shaiva Tantra, illuminating the path that leads me toward the realization of the Supreme Shiva." Her influence extended far beyond religious boundaries. She is remembered in the shared spiritual heritage of Kashmir and is believed to have inspired the great Sufi saint Nand Rishi, also known as Sheikh Nuruddin Nurani. Through this connection, Lalla became a bridge between traditions. Centuries have passed since Lalleshwari walked through the valleys of Kashmir, singing her Vakhs and sharing her wisdom. Yet her voice continues to resonate even today. Why? Perhaps because her life reminds us that true freedom begins from within. Social change may take generations, but the courage to question unjust norms can begin with a single individual. For women, especially, Lalla's journey carries a powerful message. She reminds us that a woman's value does not lie only in the roles she performs or the expectations placed upon her. Her true strength lies in her awareness, her creativity, and her spiritual independence. In many ways, Lalla teaches us that feminism is not only about protest, it is also about awakening. It is about reclaiming one's voice, one's dignity, and one's inner truth. As we conclude today's reflection, let us remember Lalleshwari not only as a mystic poet, but also as a symbol of courage. Her sky-clad journey, her Digambara journey, was ultimately a journey toward truth, a journey in which a woman refused to remain silent and allowed her spirit to speak freely. And even today, her message seems to whisper across the centuries. You are more than the roles society assigns to you. You are more than the limits others place upon you. Within you lives a light that no tradition, no institution, no boundary, and no silence can extinguish. This has been a humble tribute to the fearless spirit of Ma Lalleshwari. Thank you for listening. Namaskar.
I hope you enjoyed this edition of the English program and have been inspired to spare some time to look within, calibrate, and feel that all beauty begins from the inside. And that is exactly what makes life worth living on the outside. With the promise of bringing some more gems from out of the mine of the Indian spiritual legacy in the near future, I leave you with this beautiful Kashmiri folk song, also doubling up as a lullaby, entitled Hukus Bukus. This was written by Lal Ded, asking us to step into the realm of self-realization and divine unity. Till we meet next Friday, Sheeba says, Namaskar.
Pukus televan sukus mohabbat tukludum dek shwas kich kich vamano Brahman zaran point chukum tekis takka bani kyo बिश्त बिश्त प्रारो खुद को बन तोड़ क्यों वो लुत बबरेपन सुका मन छो कुत को तरन को तर पीछे मार कन पूछेगे दार कन हुकुस पुकुस दिलवन सुकुस मोहब्बत तुकलुदुम देख श्वास किच किच वामनो Brahman zaran point chokum tekis